of Black womanhood, the sculpted body as art. First off, I wanted to talk about kind of ideas about African American female bodybuilders. It's been argued that their presence in the realm of spectator sports helps to contest and challenge ideals about masculinity and femininity.
With bodybuilding, it's a little bit more, how can I say, broader in terms of building muscle, whereas figure competitors are more restricted.
Before I started bodybuilding, of course, I started building more muscle than the average women in the gym, and there was times where women would make comments that, oh yeah, you're starting to look more masculine, you're starting to look this way and that way, and it was pretty much because it was the fear of the unknown.
Some figure competitors are thrown off by the mere fact that sometimes some figure competitors are rewarded for being muscular.
Right.
And then some are rewarded for being softer. So they kind of confuse the figure competitors themselves.
It wasn't that I was looking, more masculine. I was looking more feminine. I was getting more attention, and people are intimidated by what they don't know or what they fear. It gets negative attention. And for me, it wasn't about that. It's really about being feminine. It's not about looking like a man. It's about being healthy and fit, and cultivating your body, making it, better.
As a man, do you find a woman who's muscular to be attractive, or do you prefer a woman to be softer, per se?
When they take it too far, which is easy to do, I'm not going to say that I find that attractive.
It's not really about more muscular or less muscular. It's not really about that. I just, really would appreciate a person's health, thinking about that. Thinking about their eating habits and what the long-term effects could be.
I have respect for them, it's just not my thing of finding them that attractive.
But, my opinions, I would say, are more personal. I don't speak for all men, you know what I mean? Men can be sort of vain when it comes to that, just as women could be. For myself, it's more about the quality of the personality and things like that, and the physical, eventually fades. So I can't really just say it's all about that, but I do appreciate someone who takes care of themselves.
How would you respond to that argument that you and your profession are no different than beauty queens or video vixens?
Well, it's completely different because it's not the same standard. I mean, the suits are there is a set standard as far as the suits. It's not a thong. It's not this, bikinis you see girls on the beach. It's the kind of thing that's supposed to emphasize femininity, symmetry, and it's definitely a standard. It's not about, it's not sexual at all. It's about showing the woman's physique in an athletic way.
And now Miss is a figure competitor, correct? Mm-hmm. She's not a bodybuilder.
She's a figure competitor, right?
Now, would you say that figure competition falls under the umbrella of bodybuilding, or would you say it's a completely different genre altogether?
It does fall under the umbrella of bodybuilding based on building muscle.
Correct.
Because figure competitors have to have some muscle too. They have to build muscle as well and have to be fit. Bodybuilding is just more extreme on the building muscle part.
When it comes to the fitness competitors that does the dancing and stuff like that, they're not gyrating or anything like that. These women are doing, plyometrics to the beat of music. They're like gymnasts. They're like fitness gymnasts doing a one-arm push-up to a beat, to a rhythm, something coordinated that is hard for an average person to control because they don't have that kind of strength, and it's timing involved. It's a sport. It's not about, exploiting or displaying a woman's body in a negative content at all. That it's really hard, to do something like that. It's like being you're a model, you're a fitness competitor, you're a gymnast, and you have to, do the posing, all of it. So it's completely different.
In light of the discourse about over-sexualized images of African American women in media and the popular consciousness, do you think that image of African American female bodybuilders helps to reconstruct or change that image that America has about African Americans?
As long as they don't take it too far, but I think they can. But society, especially America, we're so judgmental, and we're not as open as other parts of the world. But once again, it takes a lot of discipline, dedication, and it's your life to be able to do something like that. They're good for the black female, African American female, and all females, because we're all in this thing together at the moment because it's so crazy out there. And if you can be disciplined and focused enough to believe in yourself enough to be a female bodybuilder, you can be focused and believe in yourself enough to do anything you want in the world.
So this was really a perfect fit for me to get this in, because, you know, I've been holding it in. I want to touch a broader audience anyway. And so if this is a way I can carry it through, then, you know, it's first time for everything, you know. And I'm limited even when I discuss things in magazines, such as, you know, Muscle
Right,
Fitness.
what they're going to print.
Yeah, they only want to quote the things that they're promoting at the time. So, you know, it's just good to be able to, you know, talk generally like I want to. Then they would want to mimic what they see. And if what they see is positive, then they have to follow that lifestyle. You know what I mean? Right. So, you know, you know, if we're constantly seeing things that are negative, then therefore
That's
we're
what they're
following
gonna
the
mirror.
negative. Yeah, exactly.
That's their only option that they see.
Right.
They
Because, you
haven't
know,
seen
in order to be a
anything else to
bodybuilder or
mirror.
a figure competitor, you know this because you work out, you have to eat a certain way. And once you start instilling those eating habits into a child early, he's going to be deterred from all the other things that are out there that are negatively impact his physique, so to say. So that's why, you know, I really want to, you know, help out here. And, you know, it's really something that I wish I had more time to actually do, you know.
Oh, you've been more than wonderful. I appreciate it so much. And I can really tell the passion and what you're talking about, and that you really do care about it. And I can really see that. So thank you so much.
Our eating habits, the scars that we have, you know, is an extension of slavery, so to say. I mean, our poor quality of food and the things that we glorify as being good and or you know just making more of it than what it is. I think that we need to change that mentality and start looking at the food in science. I mean, that's where we're losing. We're losing the battle there because, you know, you can't find Trader Joe's and black neighborhoods and things like that. I mean, you know, and then when you go to the stores like Ralph's or Vons, you'll see a different selection of food types based on how we eat. And it's based on from the times of slavery. So therefore, in order for us to overcome those things, we have to overcome our own mentality. And unfortunately, they're still promoting, you know, and glorifying foods that are bad for our health, you know. Soul food in general. I'm not saying that, you know, we have, that there are good and bad foods all over the world. But I think that we, as a people, have been stuck, you know, in a time zone, so to say, when it comes to our eating habits.
That is a really good point. It's actually a point I do discuss in my paper, so thank you for bringing it up.
No problem.
And we can just discuss it right now, that over 33% of Americans who die from cardiovascular disease are African Americans.
Right.
And so our eating habits and our health are definitely a big problem in the African American community.
The positive outweighs the negative, but a lot of things are just misconceptions and ignorance. It's just that people don't know. I mean, these are like lifestyles and that people have had. You know, they've known habits they've had all their whole life, and you know, a lot of women misinterpret muscle, or they don't understand that, you know, that's a good thing. You know, a lot of people say, "Oh, I want to look like you, but I don't want to have all that muscle." I'm like, there's muscle and fat. You know, make the decision, because it's not about that, you know, and it takes a lot of work, hard work, to look like this. It's not going to happen overnight. So you gotta want it, you know. And a lot of people, a lot of times they want something quick and easy. They're like, "What are you taking?" It's not about that. We have to work out 4 hours a day. I'm up at 3 o'clock in the morning training. I eat healthy. I carry my food with me wherever I go. Clean diet. I mean, this is the healthiest. These are the healthiest athletes here. I mean, we have to work under extreme amount of, you know, pressure as far as our workouts. We're working amongst everybody, unlike a football player or a basketball player. They're in an environment where they're protected. We have to work around that, our environment, around, you know, I would say the average people or the everyday people. And we have to stay on the diet, you know, extreme diet, eating every 4 hours, working out 4 hours a day, 2 hours of cardio. It's a very disciplined sport, you know, so a lot of people need to know that it's not something you can get in a bottle. You have to work for it, and diet is 80% of it.
One of my goals is to inform people more on their eating habits. And, you know, America is facing an overweight problem, obesity problem. So it's not just, you know, limited to the African American community. It's basically all over the place. But unfortunately, the scars from slavery has reduced us down even further. So it's harder for us to see the light of understanding when it comes to changing our eating habits.